Hello and welcome, because today on the Implicit Show, we got a special episode. It's always a special episode. This is Mastermind Fridays. You gotta get ready. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Tapping into the true potential of the human spirit. This is Humanity Empowered. This is the Implicit Show. What is up? What is up? What is up? I'm your man. I'm your host today, Bren and Bearj. And today on the show is pretty cool. We got Mastermind Fridays. And actually, I'll just give Bearj a quick chance to say hello. Bearj, what's up? Say hello.
Hello.
Perfect, Bearj. Perfect. Anyways, today on the show, it's just me and Bearj right now, but we got a couple other people who are expected to hop in at some point during the call, which will be pretty fun. But anyways, today's Mastermind Friday, and we've been doing this, I think, for a couple months now, 2 to 3 months, and we kind of fell into a certain rhythm, a certain groove, kind of for the way how we do this show and how we make it happen. But on today's episode, a big thing I want to talk about is how we can improve. Specifically this Friday, we get together on Fridays. This is supposed to be a mastermind call, and I want to improve a mastermind. And not only that, I want to get you guys more engaged so that it's more than just about my goals or Bearj's goals or Sean's goals, but you guys as well will have a chance to share with us and also, build a structure so that things are more organized and things are more productive. I'm always that guy. He's like, I want structure and systems and like organization. Keeps me sane, keeps me productive. It helps me get shit done. And so I feel really good about that. But anyways, I think it's been a while since Bearj has been on the show. He's been away for a couple weeks and some other things. So Bearj, tell us, man, what have you been up to the past, 2-3 weeks since you've been here last?
Yeah, I think it's been about 3 weeks. The last 2 shows I haven't been on because I was on the West Coast. I was on the West Coast for a couple of different things. I should put some light on here. That's better. I'm sitting here in the shadows like I'm lurking around everybody. I was on the West Coast for 2 different things. It was really cool. I love when things work out, right? Sometimes things work out really great. And I happened to have in San Diego a training for Facebook. And then 3 days after, or 2 days actually, after that was done, I had a training in Los Angeles. Actually, it was another mastermind group that I'm a part of, with 30 people that my business and speaking coach put together. So we masterminded together for 2 days, 8 hours one day and about 5 hours the next day. And that was in Los Angeles. So it was really cool that those 2 things were synergistically in a very similar location. And my sister lives on the West Coast, which is awesome. So she went with me to the Facebook thing, and then I stayed with her in Los Angeles and didn't have to pay for a hotel up there, which is always very cool. I had a great time. I learned a lot of things, met a lot of new people. I got to meet some people that I'd only had some phone contact with or some email contact with, and got to meet them face to face, which is really important, and made some great connections. Some people who will be on my podcast down the road that I met. And yeah, it's always a good trip. It's always good to go out west. I love the West Coast. I love the mountains. I love it out there. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I got to spend a little time in Malibu. I didn't see Malibu Barbie or Malibu Ken while I was there, but that's okay.
That's super cool, man. That's always kind of been a dream of mine, is to, venture
Meet
out
Malibu
west.
Barbie.
Yeah, be Ken, the Barbie Malibu. Yeah. No, but just to go to California, just to experience it. I love the beach. I love the sun. I love nice weather. And where I'm from, like, if you look outside right now, it's horrendous. It's not a pretty sight. And so, anywhere where the sun's shining, there's water and there's a beach, I feel like that's my environment.
Yeah.
Even the fact that I'm wearing a shirt right now is just weird. Like, why am I wearing, what is this? I don't wear shirts generally, but it's cold. It's cold. I got no choice.
When I'm out there, my sister knows there's one thing I have to do as much as possible when I'm out there. She lives about a mile or so from the beach, right by Hermosa Beach, California. And there's a strand there that's probably it's cement. There's a wall between the beach and that, like a 3-foot wall, 2-foot wall, something like that. And it's this cement pathway that police cars drive on, but you can ride your bike, you can rollerblade, you can run, you can walk. People walk their dogs. Everyone's down there just walking back and forth all day. And I'm not the kind of person that generally goes for a walk, but I go down there every day that I have available. I'm down there and I go for a run every day. I love doing it. And it's just a happy place for me. My favorite thing to do is to be there in the summertime, because in the summertime, in the daytime, it's pretty hot and it can be tough to go for a long run there. But I'll go down at nighttime and I'll go for a 6-mile run on the beach, and all the houses, these beautiful multi-million dollar homes along the beach are all lit up. You can see inside and you can see the beach, hear the waves crashing. It's not as crowded. It's so beautiful. I love it down there. It's amazing.
Wow, man. You got me thinking. I'm just like,
yeah,
when am I going to make my trip to California pretty soon?
Let's go.
Right? Let's go.
Let's go. How do we do that? Like this. Let's go.
Let's make it happen. Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So tell me,
to make it happen.
Yes, please. Bearj, if you guys haven't caught this yet, Bearj is trying to copy all of my gestures. Like I just automatically make these gestures. I know this is one of them. This is a gesture I make. This is a gesture I make for some reason.
This is another one.
That's a great one. So do that again, Bearj. This one. Yeah. That's one of my favorites actually.
And this is a vocal gesture, I guess you would say. Welcome.
What up? Hello. Sometimes one hello is not enough. See, I think the reason I do that is because when we start up the show, I never quite know when we're actually live. So if I say what up like 10 times, you're going to get one of the what ups, right? Maybe 1, 2, or 3 of the what ups.
What if they only get the last one and all they get is an up?
Well, then I don't know what to say, man. You're just going to have to make it up on your own.
This is another thing.
Yeah. Just I got to start watching you more closely, Bear, so I can get some of your gestures in. Anyways, so I want to talk today about the Mastermind. So this show specifically, Bearj, you said you were in LA for a mastermind, and it's probably a lot different than what we do here because this is, online. It's broadcasted live, which a lot of mastermind calls, groups, whatever you want to call them, they're not broadcasted live. A lot of people, I feel, excuse me, Bearj, you're getting me sick.
Computer virus.
Yeah, the computer virus. No, I feel like a lot of masterminds, a lot of people might not be as comfortable getting in front of a camera and talking about their goals, or talking about their struggles or their wins or their life for that matter. So I'm just super curious how the mastermind went in LA. Like, how is that kind of run?
Yeah, it's a little bit different than what we do here. My coach spoke the first day. He spoke for the morning and went over some different things and taught us some different things. And then in the afternoon, we did aha moments, things that we learned in the morning. Whoever wanted to share things that they learned, so that we could identify those and kind of maybe bring them more into the forefront, so everyone would remember those things. And then what we did is we did what's called hot seat. And the mastermind group that I facilitate, we're actually doing that this month as well. We're doing a hot seat, just coincidentally, actually. And really, all it is a person brings to the table. We had 30 people at our mastermind, but we broke up into 5 tables of 6. So there were 6 people at each table, and each person got to be on the hot seat. And all we did was say, here's my challenge. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to work on. I need to make this happen. I'm not, because these things are issues for me. And everyone offers their ideas and opinions and their expertise, actually, as to how they could solve the problem. And it's amazing when you're in the problem, it's sometimes so difficult to see your way out of it, whatever that struggle is. But when everyone else who's sitting around you doesn't have the blinders on that you do, they can help you really quickly. And it's really amazing what happens. So we each had about, I'm going to say it's 25, sometimes 30 minutes on the hot seat. Super productive, super helpful, super fun. It's interesting because people can get kind of hot, right? Because sometimes you're being challenged and tempers can rise.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they're not understanding. You're trying to get your point across and the other person thinks they're right. And you're just kind of start to butt heads. So it's good because there's a lot of passion behind it too, and that's important. But that's the way we did our mastermind. So we did that was on Tuesday. We were there for 8 hours, and the next morning we got in there at 7 a.m. until I guess it's about 12:30 or 1 o'clock. We were there, and we did a similar thing. We did a little learning first, and then we did hot seats again. And what we did is we mixed it up, so we were with totally different people, and just presented the same questions and got completely different answers.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool, man. Just before we got on this call, I was doing a ton of research into this, and that's usually how I do things. Like if I'm going to talk about a specific topic, or if I'm going to, try to learn something, whatever it is, I do a ton of research. And so before I got on this call, I watched a bunch of videos on how other people would run their masterminds, how to be more productive, how to really, develop that conversation, or like you said, that passion, right? Because when you put somebody on the hot seat and they got this problem or this goal or something they're trying to solve, and then you got all these different people with all these different ideas and opinions who are, challenging that person, or you're trying to support that person towards achieving their goal. That's something that I've been really, that's something I strive to have on this show. I think on this show so far, Fridays, I think, have been pretty casual. We haven't had much of a structure, nor have we really kind of tackled, the real essence of a mastermind. And so that's what I really want to do on this show. And it's so funny you say, how in LA they did the hot seat thing, and then you're in another mastermind who are going to be doing the hot seat thing. And just before I got on this call, I wrote down in my notes hot seat. So it's like, I think it's the universe is telling us something, Bearj. The universe is telling us something.
I think you're just so right. I think you're so right. I'm so glad we're going to do this.
Oh, pumped.
It's all right here.
It's right here, man. You got it. If I didn't have to manually change the cameras, I'd get some great stuff. But anyways,
oh, my head's out of the screen again. I got to fix that.
Get your head back in the screen, Bearj. Come on now.
Get your head in the game.
So anyways, let's start this, man. Let's just start this. Just me and you. I'd love to talk about, first off, this is what I wrote down. Anyways, I wrote down, if we're going to do like a 60-minute call, doesn't have to be 60 minutes. I mean, for this show, we prefer usually to be more around 30 minutes. But you never know what happens. Sometimes we get right into it and it's all over the place. But I wrote the first 10 minutes to talk about your wins and to talk about, how has your week been? Where have you progressed? How are you doing? Talk about your accomplishments. And then the next 40 minutes, you put somebody on the hot seat. So it could be me, could be you, could be both of us at different points. And then that's the chance where, you bring your goal, or you bring your challenge, or you bring your struggle, or whatever it is that you're after. And we all get a chance to mastermind about that. And finally, the last 10 minutes to just talk about your goals. Like, what are you striving for the next week? So by the time we meet again, right, next week for the next call, what are you going to bring to the table, accomplishment wise? Like, so the first 10 minutes of the next call are going to be talking about the last 10 minutes of the last call, if that's making any sense.
Yeah. And I think, what might be really cool is to even have some listeners sometimes join us and have them be on the hot seat.
Totally. 100%, man.
Seriously, instead of just us.
Yeah,
and then we can offer our expertise to help them out.
Yeah, big time. That's huge. I mean, Andrea says in the comments, this is not a mastermind. It's comedy hour with Bren and Bearj, which is true. A lot of times we just kind of, we're just chatting, cracking jokes, and there's some productive conversation here. But I want to go deeper. That's just my thing, man.
Here's the reality, guys. The reason that happens is because Bren and I have talked a lot. We've become friends just from doing this, and I think we've created a rapport together, which is so important to have, I think, when you're masterminding with people. Because, in fact, tonight I'm going out with a buddy of mine who's in my mastermind, and we're just going to go hang out. And having that rapport is really important, because when you have that, it's easier to be authentic. It's easier to be real, and you let your guard down a little bit more. And that's probably the biggest thing that holds people back from getting the most out of masterminding. They keep their guard up and they don't allow themselves to just kind of be out there and say what's really going on, how they really feel. And it it prevents them from moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be. I'm at a loss for the right word, but you got to have to kind of let things go. And because we have that rapport, we're able to do that. And we probably had deeper conversations on the phone than we've had on here, just because this is, for the world to consume. But because we've had those conversations, we're really at ease with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And great rapport. I love the conversations we have. And especially like you said, sometimes when we're talking on the phone, the conversations do go deeper. We get a little bit more personal. We talk a little bit more about things we might not say on the podcast. But that's kind of that's kind of my challenge right now. Is like, I want to challenge myself to not only, be open with Bearj, but to be open with everybody on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live and on Periscope and on iTunes and with all the listeners and everybody. I want to just I feel like it's great accountability and it's great motivation. Like when you tell people what you're going to do every single week, like I know for myself, like when I tell Bearj, I'm going to get up at 10 a.m. and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to make things happen. Then he calls me. I'm like, man, I better get out of bed. Like Bearj is calling me. Bearj is on my ass, right? He's holding me accountable to succeed. And so part of it is for my own selfish gain. I want that accountability. I want that motivation. I want to push forward and reach my goals quicker. And the other part of it is I think it's so important for the listeners to really get to know the real Bren, Bren's real struggles, Bearj's real struggles, where Bearj is succeeding, what Bearj is trying to accomplish, what I'm trying to accomplish, what my vision is, right? So it's like a win-win for everybody. And also when we could get people who are listening, get them in here on the hot seat as well, that's amazing, an amazing chance to get to know the listeners better, to engage with the community more. And that's really what I'm looking for, right? Just I want everybody to win. Let's all win together, right? That's what this Mastermind Friday is about for me anyways.
Yeah, I like that whole theory of, let's all win together. It's so important. A lot of people see scarcity in the world. And when we see scarcity in the world, we generally think that we've got to hold everything tight to the vest. And that if we allow any information out, if we allow people to know what we're doing, if we share something that we've learned, then other people will get a hold of that and they'll beat us. And that's really not how the world works. It's like the world, and there's a word, you use it a lot. I'm beginning to use it a whole lot more because of you. And I've heard a lot of other people talk about this word a lot. It's such an important word. The word is love. And there's zero scarcity of love. Love is completely infinite in the amount of love that there is. So, like I think of, little kids. They have a mom and a dad. If they love dad, it doesn't mean they love mom less. If they love mom, it doesn't mean they love dad less. There's an infinite amount of love there. And in the same way, success works that way too, where there's an infinite amount of success. Just because one person is successful doesn't mean another person is less successful. There's not a balancing act that goes on with that. It's infinite. It's abundance. The world has abundance, and it's important for us to have that mindset for abundance, that attitude of abundance, because if we don't and we see scarcity instead, then we hold on to things. And I like to say, if you're holding on to things, you've got this fist where you're holding on to something so tight that you're afraid to lose it, you can't open up your hand for something better or something else. Mm-hmm. So I think, like Bren, if I give you something, my hand opens like this, right? And if I want to receive something, my hand needs to be in the same position.
Yeah.
So giving and receiving are the same feeling. They're the same gesture. They're the same everything. But a lot of people want to do this and hold on to what they have. You can't receive anything that way. Mm-hmm. So there's abundance, and that's why we want to share with everybody.
Yeah, big time, man. And it's so important to just be open, like you said, like open your hand, open your heart, open yourself to other people. I find like ever since I started doing this podcast kind of stuff, I've been more active on social media. I've been engaging with strangers, people I've never met. This kind of thing has really changed my life and has changed my perspective. And it's like, you never know who you can help by just being yourself. That's something that I've, really held on to and really thought about in my heart. Is like, there's videos that I put out there just a quick little 1 minute rant where it's just like me, maybe I'm feeling really passionate or emotional, and I'm just like, I need to put this out there. Just need to say this, right? And then that rant, a minute long, throw it up on Facebook, and it goes around, and maybe it like gets like 1,000 views, 2,000 views, whatever. But like nobody cares, but like one person messages me and says, wow, that rant, or like whatever you said, or just like you being open, talking about yourself and your goals and that kind of stuff, helps that person think differently, or helps them open their heart and open themselves up. That's huge for me, because
Yeah.
I was always closed down. I was always holding on to like, I've only got so much. I got to hold on, right? Like so much scarcity, like you're saying, Bearj. But this whole show, the whole point behind this is to, like the title said, it was support and support each other or something. I don't know. Read the title. I can't read the title right now.
Supporting and adding value to each other.
Boom. That's what I'm saying. Got to support and add value to each other. And that's really what I want to do with this show, is just add more value. Value. More. Do it. Yeah.
Well, we're done.
Well, we're done. All right. Peace, guys. That was the end of the show. If you guys want to support what we're doing, it's just peace. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bearj, you got to get the peace sign, right? Because that's my thing. No, but anyways, let's we're already kind of 20 minutes in. It's been a good chat, but I want to run like a mini mastermind just between me and you, Bearj, using this formula I put together. So the formula of like, you got so much you start with your wins, then you put somebody on the hot seat, and like your wins, your struggles, and then what you're going to do next. So how do you want to start this? You want me to start? Do you want to start?
Yeah, you go ahead.
You got to start. Okay, I'm going to start. Well,
we're going to both do our wins, and then we'll both do our hot seat, and then we'll both do our whatevers.
Yeah, so let's both do our wins. I'll say my wins this week, I got to say it's pretty much been one of the most productive weeks I've had in a really, really long time, which makes me feel really good. I've been journaling a lot more, and I've been doing a lot more affirmations and self-reflection, which has really helped me to get super clear on what it is I value in life, what it is I'm after, and what goals I want to pursue, and ultimately like what I need to do on a daily basis. And so I've been super consistent with, my exercise, been exercising every day for like 100 something days, meditation every day, journaling every day, all these things. And that's been super powerful for me. Also, last night I had a chance to finish all the recording for my record, which is insane, guys. Like I've been working on this record for 2 years, and I've finally gotten all the parts recorded. This week or last night, Julie was here and we finished all of it. So now I just need to go in and mix it and make the final tweaks and listen to it a few times and kind of, show it to other people, hear what they think. So that's a huge, huge win for me. Like that's the best feeling I could actually have, is like finally getting that done. And then aside from that, I also, I put out a book this week, Mindset Mastery. It's good. It's available free from, today until Sunday. It'll be available for free. So that's a big win. Also writing another book to go along with my record, which I've been really focused on today specifically. I really decided on the structure of what I want for the book, and about half of it's written right now, which feels really good. So honestly, it's been one of the most productive weeks I've had in such a long time. And I think that's why I'm coming to the show right now on Friday and going at it with such like, we got to make it better. We got to improve. We got to, small tweaks. We got to try something different, because I'm on such a kick of productivity, and I've got so much momentum right now, which feels really good. So those are my wins for this week. Anyways, what would you have to say, Bearj?
Well, I wish I had as many wins as you this week, but I got back from the West Coast late Sunday night and got sick.
Yeah, you've had a rough week.
Yeah, my voice stinks. I've got a sore throat. I've been sleeping a lot because I've been so tired from being sick, and I've just been kind of doing whatever I can so that I don't get really sick.
Well, the 2 previous weeks before this week have been really productive.
For sure. And on Wednesday I had a 2-hour meeting with Jesse Dobick, who is working on my social media. We put in place a plan and scheduled next week with the rest of the team to create my funnel, my online funnel, and my whole everything for Facebook. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. It's a huge win. It's a big step forward for me. It's the people I've been looking for a long time. The next the next win I have is still along the lines of social media. I want to share with everybody um, what I'm doing with it, because I think, a lot of people create these Facebook fan pages and they just sit there. They invite some of their friends to join it. They have, 80 followers on there, or they have 800 followers, and that number seems like a lot, but it really isn't in Facebook land. It's almost near zero in Facebook land, and it doesn't really mean much with the way that Facebook pages work. So, a lot of business people have this, but when people go to it, they don't see much going on there, and that hurts their business. So I want to help people, to show them how I created my fan following. So I'm doing a webinar next week, and I set that up, and I was going to make it the following week, and I thought, well, let me give myself a week to get better. I'm like, screw it, I'm just making it Tuesday night. So I set that up yesterday, and I'll be promoting that for the next few days to get some people. I have some people who are already who want to jump on there, and I'm doing what I can while I'm sick, and getting some rest to still be productive.
Yeah, no, man, that's awesome. And I honor you for even coming on to the show. Because you called me earlier today and I was like, "What's up, Bears?" You're just like, I'm sick, man." I'm like, "Oh, poor Bears." Like, "Oh, that's gotta suck." But you're still making it happen, man. Still taking action, which is it's tough when you're not feeling good physically, right? There's no energy there. So
Yeah, the thing for me is, like, it's really difficult to be creative when I'm not feeling well, because my head gets clogged up. You just can't think straight. So I'm doing things. My camera's still off. So I'm doing things that don't take that kind of mental energy.
Mhm.
That kind of helps. There I go. Oh, I look much better now. Look at that. Oh, look
Bears
at
looking good. Looking classy, Bears. Looking classy.
That's right.
That's it with the head bobs. All right,
I
well,
need to fix
Bears, I think we should put you on the hot seat, man. Let's put you on the hot seat. You just explained how your week's been. Um, Tell us what's your where are you struggling right now, or what are you working towards right now?
All right, so this is the tough thing. So, uh, with my other mastermind group that I facilitate, we actually created an offshoot of that. We created a pod of 5 of us who we just lost it, Bren.
What did
We
we
just
lose?
lost. I'm just looking at the feed. It just says implicit on there.
Oh no. Well, we're looking good on my end.
Okay.
Hopefully, it's just you.
Yeah, it might just be me. Okay. So we created this pod, and we meet once every 2 weeks at 6:30 a.m. on Fridays. So last Friday, which was actually it was 7:30 a.m. we meet. Last Friday, which was 4:30 a.m. for me because I was on the West Coast, I made a commitment to finish my book, the audio portion of my book. I'm basically recording it as an audio, and then it's going to get transcribed by our next one, which is a week from today. And because I've been so sick, I don't want to talk all day because I won't have a voice. So I haven't done any of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a little bit of it before all that. I made that commitment. I'm like 2 chapters done, but since then I haven't done anything. So I'm hoping that I can get my voice back. And you can see as this goes on, my voice is kind of getting a little bit worse. I'm hoping I get my voice back enough that I can do that this week and get, as much of it done as possible, if not all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's the biggest challenge for me. And Bren's making fun of me.
Hey, you're copying my gestures. I gotta copy your gestures.
That's not a gesture.
No, man, that's cool. So, like with your book, you're waiting on your voice to get better so that you can record the audio section, so you could send it to the people for transcribing. Do you know exactly what it is you're going to talk about in the next few chapters?
Yeah, everything's all mapped out. It's all written
Cool.
out. It's all set up. But it's just a matter of me doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's nice is, each one's going to be just like a little. It takes 5 minutes to speak a chapter when you're doing it. It's not that hard to do it. There are about 30 some chapters. So, if I can do 6 of them a day,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, for sure. I bet you could pick one day and just like get them all done if you were really focused and had
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
plan all, and you got it all mapped out. So that's huge.
Yeah. It's all mapped out.
Mapped out. Perfect. So what else, man? Is there anything else on your mind aside from your book? Is your social media all in order and all that stuff's working out well?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit 25,000 fans on my personal on my public profile page, and maybe tomorrow or the next day.
That's huge, man.
When I hit
Congratulations on
20,000
that.
fans, it was Sunday a week ago, like a week and a half ago on Sunday. It's almost 2 weeks ago. Yes, when I hit 20,000 fans, it's like everything got ticked up 3 or 4 notches, and I actually have less like ads running now, but I'm getting more fans.
Yeah, it kind of just picks
Crazy.
itself up, right? That's really cool.
Yeah, it's absolute craziness.
Well, that's awesome, man. Is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything I could help you either sort out or think about or just like, gesture?
Could you make me some chicken soup?
I will not because I'm a vegan and I do not support chicken.
You don't support chicken, or you don't support the
I don't
consumption of
I
chicken?
don't support chickens, man. I got no time for that chicken shit.
Now that my challenge basically is that, and to keep everything else going. Like, on Sunday I'll get all my social media set up for the week, so that just automatically goes,
Hmm.
and I just need to get that done so that I can do the book, and I just got to get it done. I
Yeah.
feel like it's hanging over my head, and it feels. I don't want to get it to get to the point where it's hanging over my head that I feel pressure that I can't even think straight to do it. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Like I was saying, it's taken me 2 years to finish recording my record, which is insane because the last few records I've recorded were done in like a week, done in like 2 weeks. I mean, it takes so long to write the song and, like you said, map out the book, right? Figure that out. But production wise, it's taken me 2 years to produce this record. Um, and I mean, just telling you, when you finish that book, it will feel amazing. It's like all the pressure, all the everything, like it's just like, okay, it's done. It's done. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
other thing I'm trying to figure out also is and I don't want to say too much about this because I want to keep this close to the vest. But in July, I'm supposed to be interviewed by a major author who, I'll get to be able to keep the video of it and use that for promoting and things
Mhm.
like that. And I'll be able to take quotes from what he says and put them in the book. So, I don't even know how long it takes, because it's going to be a hardcover book. It's going to be a real deal where I don't have one here, but where you pick up a book
Yeah.
and, someone can buy it, right? People are calling me in the middle of all this. So, I want to be able to include those things in the book.
Hmm.
So that's not until July, but July is going to be here like that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot that's got to go on between now and then to, for rewriting. Because once it's transcribed, then I've got to go through it and rearrange and make things sound like a book rather than me talking and maybe dropping a couple profanities while I'm recording and things like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Bears with the profanities.
and
Watch out.
my good friend Brandon told me, he said, look, I'll help you. We'll go in the morning to the mall. Sounds weird, right? We'll go in the morning to the mall on a Saturday. He said, we'll walk around before it opens and you read it out loud to me, and I can write down notes for what needs to get changed. So that's pretty cool. I think that'll be a really big help.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool, man. You got it together, man. You got your plan. You got the. It's sounding good.
Yeah. How
Cool.
about you?
How about me, man? Where am I struggling? Where can I improve? Right now, I think a big thing for me, one of the number one goal I have, I've chunked it all down to like three things. Like I used to have a list of like 20, 30 goals. I had a list of like 10 values and 10 moving away from values. And I chunked it all down to just like three things. And I don't know how other people work, but for me personally, I get overwhelmed when there's so many things. It's just ridiculous. So I've been able to chunk it down to like my top three things that I'm after, what I'm trying to do this year specifically, anyways. And number one is to commit to waking up at the same time every day and following a schedule. So I'm improving on this every day. It literally is getting better as the time goes by, which I'm super happy about. but I'm still struggling sometimes. I'm still like, there's a couple days a week where I'm sleeping a little bit or where I kind of fall off schedule. But my goal is really to diligently and like strictly disciplined follow the schedule that I lay out for myself. The reason why is because like that's freedom, man. Like when I have a schedule and I could say, okay, this is going to get done and this is going to get done and then this and that, all of a sudden it's like things actually get done, right? When you kind of talk about it, it's like, yeah, okay, well, whatever. When are you going to do that? Or when you start to plan it, whatever. But when you finally schedule it, like it actually happens. And so that's where I've been struggling. But not only have I been struggling, I've been doing better. So I am improving, but I'm still not quite where I'd like to be. That's where I'm at right now. That's, my hot seat topic. What would you say, man?
So, what's the main thing? Is it being regimented with your daily to do things, or?
Yeah, that's the main thing, man, is I just want to wake up at the same time every day and follow a schedule, follow a schedule of like, okay, I wake up at this time and then I work out at this time and then I meditate at this time. And obviously it doesn't have to be concrete, but as close to that as I could get it, because I've noticed when I actually schedule things, I finally get things done, right? Like my book today, I didn't feel like doing it. I really didn't feel like doing it. I was tired. I was just like not really that motivated. I had YouTube open and there's all these funny videos and all these educational videos that I could watch. But I decided, okay, I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to put on a timer and I'm just going to go at it for like 25 minutes. And I did. And then the timer went off and I was in the zone. And I just threw away the timer. I just kept going. I kept working on it. So that's my goal right now, is to follow that schedule. There's been a couple times this week where I'd scheduled in time to make phone calls. This is another thing I struggle with, Bearj. I'd schedule time to make phone calls so I could book gigs, so that I could get out there more. I could promote my music and stuff. But on multiple occasions, I've just like not done it. I'm just like, oh, I'm supposed to make calls right now. I really don't want to make calls right now. Like it's something I kind of dread, So that's been a struggle for me.
Why don't you do that?
I don't like phone calls. I understand the importance. Like I need to book.
You don't like phone calls at all, or you don't like making those phone calls?
I think it's specifically those phone calls because it's cold calling, right? I'm calling businesses, calling venues, calling people who have never heard of me. They don't know who I am. And I'm trying to get myself into their venue to perform. And it's tough for me. I much prefer email. I'm way better at sending cold emails and like, yo, here's, some links. Here's what I do. Here's who I am. But it's the phone call specifically that I've had trouble following through on.
Which do you do first?
Usually I send an email first, and if I don't get anything back, I'll call them. But it depends, because some places I call them and they say, yo, we don't do phone calls. You have to email us. Some people I email and I never get a reply, and then I call them and finally I get through to somebody. So it's really, I have to be flexible.
So what if you had a plan where you said, I'm going to send an email, and a day or 2 days after I send the email, I'm going to follow up and let them know I sent the email, rather than wait for them to reply back, because emails, having studied sales, are the lowest form of communication. You've probably gotten emails like, who is this? And you just scroll through it or you delete it. You never look at it, right? So you want to email them and follow up with a phone call maybe. And then, and this is good because as I'm saying this out loud, it's helping me, because I've got to do the same thing. And I haven't even thought through this myself, like, because I hate it just as much as you hate it. I'd rather do the email and just sit there and wait and look at it. Oh, good, they sent back. Now I'll go there. So I get it. I totally get it. Maybe send an email, then follow it up a day or two later with a phone call. And then on that phone call, say, maybe you didn't see the email, maybe it went to spam, whatever. I'm going to resend it just to be sure you have it. Here's who it's coming from. Because maybe you're leaving a message is where I'm coming from. If you leave a message when they don't pick up, and let them know I'm going to send it again and be on the lookout for it. And then at least when they see it, they'll have that curiosity as to who's this guy Bren, this crazy Canadian guy, and he's like scheming with me, and they want to know who he is, so they'll look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was out on the West Coast, I wanted to have a couple speaking engagements, and none of them came to fruition. And mostly because I just didn't do what I needed to do ahead of time to make it happen, at least not soon enough, maybe, right? So there was this high school right across the street from where my sister lives, and I wanted to speak there because I know it's a pretty good school. I know I would have had a great event there. So I called there first, told them who I was, and I spoke with the principal's secretary, and she said, well, if you just email him this info, then he'll make a decision from that. So I asked her, could you please let him know who I am and to please be on the lookout for my email.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next time I go out there, I'm going to send it to them again.
Yeah. It's a better strategy than just calling a million times and really, or just sending a bunch of emails, which is kind of what I've done. I've sent out so many emails and just not followed up. And I think that's where I need to improve, is on the follow-up.
In your emails, is there a video or audio of you at all?
Yeah, I make sure to send links. So, a lot of times I've tried different formats and stuff, right? But with the format that I'm using right now, I basically tell them in the headline, like, I want to help you grow your business, and I want using social media and entertainment. So my plan is I'm coming into the venue, I'm setting up a live stream, I'm getting their social media stuff so they got live video of the show, and I'm performing and putting on a good show. So that's what I've been working on, and just using that format alone, and then later on I send them links and stuff. Using that format alone, I've been able to get a few replies, but it's hit and miss, right? Because I'm learning this, right? I'm a creative artist. That's how I've always considered myself. Like I'm creative. I got artistry, free, open spirited, whatever. But I'm trying to adopt more of a business mentality because I really want to succeed. I really want to, my art and what I do, I want that to get out there. So I've been really focused on how could I learn sales? How can I learn marketing? How could I learn all these other things?
Would you agree that there are people out there who are getting more gigs than you that don't perform as well as you?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
Why? I gotta say it has to do something probably with the business side of things.
Yeah.
Because I could sit in my room and practice all day every day and just become this amazing musician, but like nobody's
If no
gonna
one knows
know.
about it.
Yeah. So I've been stepping up my social media. I've been trying to make more phone calls, put out more clips, just be out there more. You know what it's like. You really have to put yourself out there. And I'm learning that more and more, right? Because for years I was always just that bedroom guy playing guitar, like writing songs. And now I'm finally trying to get out there more, build my brand, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and the thing that hooked me on my speaking coach, he's actually a speaking / marketing coach, is one of the first things he said was, stop thinking like a speaker, think like a marketer.
Yeah.
And as soon as he said that, I thought, okay, you're the man. You're the person I'm gonna learn from, because he got it. He understood, and he does talks all the time because he's learned how to get himself out there and how to market himself. And when you think like a marketer, you're going to get business. But if you think like a speaker or you think like a musician, which is I just need to be really good at this song, or I need to have this talk perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if no one knows about it, who cares? It doesn't make any difference. If a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? The answer is, who cares?
Yeah.
Because you can't hear it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. That's really where I'm learning to improve. And I feel even just like what I'm doing with the structure and my schedule and stuff like that, I'm putting time in my schedule to focus on how could I market on social media, how could I make more phone calls, how could I learn. I'm looking up, I'm learning from different people about different topics and stuff. So I'm diving in. I really want to learn this. It feels really counterintuitive for me though sometimes, because I don't see myself as a salesman. I don't see myself as, a marketer or a businessman, and that's where I need to improve, right? Because
have you ever thought about, and this would work for you, I don't think it would work as well for me. Have you ever thought of, hey, your first show's free?
No.
I
Some
don't, I don't
places,
know if that's a good way to do it or
yeah, yeah.
not, but hey, your first show's free. If you like me, then
Hmm.
you can have me back, and I don't know if that's a good idea or not. That might be a really bad idea.
Yeah.
It's an idea.
I usually, if I'm really struggling to get through to somebody or really struggling to connect and get myself into a venue, that's usually what I'll say. I'm not free, but like I'll come in at discount price because every time I do a show, it costs me money. And at the same time, it's doing a lot of other musicians disservice if I come in and perform for free. Because then it's like, okay, well now the bar, the venue, the party, whatever it is that I'm performing for, they expect everybody to want to do it for free. And so it's yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah.
You have to think of a way to make it work.
I'm thinking, man. I'm always thinking. I'm always planning, making stuff happen. Okay,
It's all
so
here.
let's wrap this up, man, with our goals for next week. You're gonna be on the call next week, Bearish?
I believe so.
I believe so. Cool. So my plan, my goals for next week is by the time we get together next week, I want to have a solid structure and plan for this mastermind, specifically because um, I want to get more people on here. Obviously, we've had different speakers, different authors, teachers, all these different people come on the show, but it hasn't been all that consistent. I really want this Friday to be, you're going to be expecting the same people every week, and you're really going to get to know myself. You're really going to get to know Bearj. You're going to get to know, whoever else comes on here with us. So that's one of my goals. Also, excuse me. One of
Whoa!
my whoa, buddy. Cheers.
Is there a frog up there somewhere?
It's Canada, man. We got frogs everywhere. Canada, Canadian frogs. No, yeah, my other goal that I really want to work on is, like I said, schedule and structure. Uh, following, I think I need to set like some sort of reward system for when I follow through, and like a punishment. Like one thing I don't have is incentive. I don't have. If I follow through, I don't usually reward myself for it. I kind of just said, okay, yeah, you did a good job. Move on to the next one, right? And so I think I need to take more time to acknowledge my wins, and because that'll help give me more motivation, push me forward to keep on building that momentum, and also creating putting my I gotta put myself in more of a box. That's what this whole schedule thing is about for me. Is like if I could put myself in a box, not just any box, but like a success box, like a box that's gonna guarantee that I'm gonna get the things done that I want to get done. Not that I, have to, but that I want to do. And so that's what I'm gonna improve on. By the time I get here next week, I'm gonna write this down so remember. It's gonna be mastermind plan. And what was that last thing I was saying? Schedule, incentives, if that makes sense. Makes sense to me, so that's all that
Yeah.
matters. How about you, Bears?
My goal is get that book done.
Get that book done. So by next Friday, you're gonna have that book done. All the audio recorded, sent to your guy.
It may not be sent yet, but it'll be done.
It'll be done. Boom. So guys, you heard it here first. Bears is gonna be finishing his audio for his book by Friday. Oh, he's got the wait up. Yeah. Wait, I gotta manually click the button. Wait for it. Okay. I always kind of feel bad for the iTunes listeners because there's so many crazy visual things that go on in the show, and they just don't get to hear it. So if you're listening on iTunes, make sure you come and check out what's going on Facebook Live or on YouTube or Periscope or any of that stuff.
If it's iTunes, you would think they could see it.
You would think so. What's that about?
I do know that there is a way to podcast video on iTunes. I've seen it.
What?
Yeah.
I need to know this. Anyways, so I'm gonna write this down. Bears is gonna have his book done by next week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, perfect. Well, let's wrap this up, man. Do you have any other goals or any kind of last words for the listeners to take away?
I have another goal. I showed it just to you. I'm gonna do this. That's me a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I do not look like that right now. So that's one of my goals. Not for next week, obviously, but over the next several months.
So what kind of plan are you going to put in place health wise? You got a specific diet idea or exercise idea, or is that
Well,
what you're gonna
I
have
did
by next week?
P90X the last time to make that happen.
P90X,
Yeah,
nice.
it works.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I I don't think I'll do straight up P90X. I have some other workouts that I'll do maybe in conjunction with. But the biggest thing is I need to get really clear and concise with the diet that goes along with it, because you've got to do both things. You can't do one and not the other. Yeah. So
I
I got to make
totally
that
get
happen.
that, man. When I first started my health journey, I adopted the diet, super healthy, clean diet. I lost like 60 pounds, but then I had all this like, just like skin kind of just like hanging around and shit. So like I didn't look very good. I didn't really
Right.
feel that great either. I didn't feel that strong because I took the diet approach, but I didn't take the fitness approach. And so right now, I mean, since this whole year since January for me has been a real fitness focus. So yeah,
This
man,
is March, you know.
this is March. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, I
been
thought you
like,
said this January.
oh
Maybe
no,
you said since January. Okay.
since January I've
Well,
been.
what I've done is I've taken this picture and it just sits here on my right at my keyboard on my computer, so I can keep reminding myself
Mhm.
that that's what my goal is. I want to look like that. So
I believe in you,
you just
man.
got to keep it in your mind. You got to keep it in your mindset and keep thinking about it. Keep focusing on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a long-term goal.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to have that. Well, next week I'll make sure to bug you about your book. I'll make sure to bug you about your exercise and your head diet and stuff. How's that sound? Oh, sounds like a cough, Bearj.
Sounds good.
All right, well, that's the end of the show, guys. Bearj, where can the people find you if they want to connect with you? Because I know you got some solid social media going on right now. People need to get a hold of you.
Yeah, if you want to catch me on Facebook, if you go to bearjfan.com, Bearj fan, bearjfan.com, that takes you right to my Facebook, and just click the like and the follow button so you can get all my posts. So you want to make sure that they show up in your feed all the time, because the way Facebook works, if you don't do that, you don't always see it. So you want to make sure you check that. And I put some good quotes up there all the time. I put some Facebook Live videos. I got some other videos. We've got a dog that's jumping into the podcast here. So all that stuff is great stuff. So that's how you can find me on social media. If you want to find my website, that is bearjspeaks.com. The same spelling, Bearj, speaks.com. And that's a pretty interesting
Scarf?
scarf. Yeah, something like that.
It's my,
Turtleneck.
it's my dog scarf.
That's
Yeah,
your
man.
dog
So
scarf?
make sure you guys go and check out Bearj's social media and his website and all that stuff. He's seriously doing some great things. That's why me and Bearj are good pals, because I like what he's doing.
Yes, sir.
And he's a funny guy. And this is Dia the Dog. If you guys want to support what we're doing at Implicit, if you guys want to support Dia the Dog, you go to patreon.com/implicit. Just follow us on social media at Implicit Nation. We're always doing content, quotes, podcasts, books, blogs, all that fun stuff. So make sure you guys hook it up. This dog's getting a little heavy, so
It's amazing how Dia just lets you do that.
she's, you know what, man? Me and Dia have we've been through a lot together. It's taken a lot of training to get her to be as comfortable as she is. But she's good. She's good.
For
All
those,
right.
if you're on iTunes right now, Bren has Dia around his shoulders like a scarf, and Dia's a pretty big dog, and she's just laying there like, that's cool. Not
Yep.
too many dogs will let you do that. That's a cool thing. It means you've got a good relationship.
She likes it. She likes it. Anyways, Dia, let's see the peace sign. Give him your peace sign.
Peace, Dia.
Peace. Peace, Bearj.